We only got one shot. Let's make this quick. I don't know about you, but nowadays when I have a question, especially ones that need a little bit more explaining, I no longer just go to Google. I tend to go to one of my LLMs like Chat, Claude, GPT or something, Gemini or something like that, and get the answer. The reason why, I can make it explain it to me in a way that I understand. Normally because I spend enough time talking to it that it knows how I think. I want to help you learn how to do this really, really quickly. Don't want to waste a lot of time. It's very important that you understand this. In the old school ways, whenever you go to one of these LLMs, and again, I'm going to talk about Claude because that's what we're doing here in summer school. Take a pause for the cause. If you don't know, summer school is a program that I'm doing right now. For the next 90 days, I'm trying to teach normal, everyday people like you, how to use AI. Why? Because it's really, really helpful, regardless of all of the crazy nonsense that people are talking about. And the thing about it is, you can learn this right now. You're not left behind. You're not far back. It doesn't take a lot of time. And I even shouldn't say learn. It's really about just using it effectively, because it's one of those things almost like walking. Once you start, you don't really need much help learning how to do it. Anyway, let's dive in. So the problem in the old school way was if you go to look for anything, maybe I want to find a nice pen that's going to work good on this particular type of paper. I would get these long articles with all these weird things, and it just doesn't really make sense to me. Well, Claude has something really cool built in, and I'm using Claude, but this should work in just about any other program. I'm using Claude for summer school because it makes jobs easier. Anyway, let's dive in. I'm going to go to this browser real quick and show you an article that was written by a Claude engineer. And this has been getting a lot of press and a lot of talk around the internet. And it's basically why HTML is actually better than the standard markdown file. And what I mean by a standard markdown file, under normal circumstances, when you go to one of your chat bots and you ask them a question, you get a whole bunch of text, no images, no diagrams, and it can just drive you crazy. But I have found myself that if I go over to something like this, I created this document to teach normal people how to learn how to talk to the bots now, because prompt engineering is kind of really not as important as before. And it just gives you a couple of rules. And here's, actually interactive things that you could click on that will take you to the next step. And I have a form where you can just ask your situation here and it will make a prompt for you, even show you what comes back. And the reason for that, again, if I just gave you a long newsletter article, won't make sense. You want to know how to auto post on Canva without, using a whole bunch of weird stuff. Boom, I made a little page here. It shows you what to do. It explains the situation, how easy it is to set up, gives you a couple of good to knows, and here's the prompt. That's all you need. And before, we would just add these to a YouTube description, but people wouldn't know what to do. But now I can give you a straight up instruction manual for free, hosted on Claude. I put it on GitHub. That's a different conversation. But I can show you how to take one simple post and turn it into many by using the prompts here. Everything you need is on the single HTML file. And I didn't have to write anything crazy other than what I asked it for. Here's how to go live on a Mac in 5 steps real quick. So there that is, right? I could even come over and I'm learning to style it better to match my brand. So now that I figured out how to do this, I'm tweaking it so when I decide to share with you, it'll look more like me. So let's go over to Claude and I'm going to show you what I mean. Here I am in Claude, purposely using incognito mode, and the prompt that you need to know, I understand it's hard to see, but I will paste it on the screen. On the description. I want to understand topic deeply. First, suggest 5 visuals that will help. 1 line each on why. When I pick it, render it in line in the chat so I can see what's happening there. So Claude just introduced a brand new model. Don't understand this brand new model yet, and let's call it Fable 5. That's the name of the model. So all I'm going to do is say, I want to know how to do Fable 5. You know what? I got to double check that I know how to spell Fable. Don't get me in trouble. Fable. Okay, I got it. So I want to understand Fable 5 deeply. I suggest 5 visuals that help. 1 line each why. Pick one, render it in line in the chat so I can see what's going on there. So I'm going to let this do this thing. And while it's doing this thing, I'll explain it to you just a little bit better. I have found that in the past, when you ask a question and you just get this long article, I'm reading it, I get interrupted, I got to go back. And especially somebody like myself, where I'm neurospicy, I have ADHD brain, sometimes the visuals help better. But here's what's really cool. It's not just going to give you a bunch of pretty pictures because, ChatGPT and some of the others will do that. This guy will come back and actually give you things that you could click on, things that you can work with. Let me just expand this so it's easier for you guys to see. So here are the 5 examples. Show your family tree. Show you where Fable 5 fits into the Claude 5 lineup with its siblings. Show a compatibility ladder. Show same engine, different keys, right? Like how this works. Where can I use it? Map of every class surface and what the reach for. So it says, tell me the number and I'll draw it right here. If you want me to pull the latest official details from Anthropic before I draw, say the word and I'll do that first. So let's do something like... how about a combination of 1 and 4? And if you can get those information quickly from Anthropic, do that as well. All right, I like to talk to it just because I can't type. Anybody who knows me knows I can't type. So again, when you are normally out here creating these things, asking the questions, trying to map a trip to Kyoto, not Kyoto. If you're trying to map a trip to Kyoto, if you're trying to figure out where are some of the best places to eat in San Diego, yes, you can get a crazy list, but I feel it's better sometimes if you get a visual. You can even say, I'm looking for 6 places to park at Madison Square Garden during the Knicks versus the, Spurs, right? It can pull out not just a map, maybe it will draw you a simple map because you won't be able to pull up Google Maps because you're going to be somewhere with a crowded, congested area and the phone is just going to, generate problems, right? So let's go back and see what Claude is doing. And here we go. Let's see what it pulled up. So where Fable 5 sits and where to find it. So it's a Mythos preview, some engines underneath, Mythos 5. All these words don't mean anything to you, but they definitely mean something to me. But the whole point is this is much better as a visual. Let me back out a second. Much better as a visual as opposed to just the long, storied, complex conversation that I would normally have to understand. And I'm going to show you what I mean real quick by going over to the browser. And this is the article from Anthropic. And I got to get in here and I got a couple more links I got to read, but it's there, but it's still a little complicated for me even after I read it. And I know what the freak I'm doing. So again, here's something really cool where you can get this, you can take a look at it. And what's really decent, if you want to share this with somebody, once it's finished working, it's actually still working. Once it's finished working, I can tell it to make me a version that I can share, and I can share it with a public link, and then anybody can look at it. So once this is done doing this, I will go ahead and do this. Now, it's going to take it a minute to finish drawing this, but I wanted to give you an example. And because I don't want this video to be here for 3 hours, I will put the links in the bottom of the description for you to go ahead and check it out yourself. Now, I want to know down in the comments below, what is something that you've been telling yourself you want to get a better grasp on, but you don't really understand it? And if you are able to pull the visualizer and get it to work, let us know what was the prompt that you used so we can try it to see if we can see a similar visualizer to the one that you generated. It finished really quick. Let me just show you really fast. If I pop over here, I'm going to see if I can ask it to open it in the browser, but I will publish the artifact. If it will let me do that. It won't let me do that. Let me take you to Claude. Sorry about this. Jump. Boom. Okay, here's what it looks like. I can move the little slider over to make it bigger, I believe. And so this is what we're talking about. It's giving us the entire thing. I'm able to zoom it in. I can back out of it, because this is done in SVG, right? So I haven't turned it into HTML yet. But if I wanted to, I could actually do that. And as an HTML document, you'd be able to read it. But it basically explains everything that we need to know for that complicated ask that I gave it. Again, I want to make this short. Please go out and try it. If you like this video, press the like button, press the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. If you know somebody who's been trying to get their AI together and they just feel like they're behind, send them to the summer school playlist, which I also will link down below. If you have any questions about something that you're trying to do, your AI has been bothering you, you're feeling a little bit lost, you're not sure what you should do, let's talk about that. Let me know in the comment section below, and I will do my best to get a video out for you as fast as you can. Now, I owe you guys another 2 videos because, well, the last 2 days just got crazy. But we're going to get in. We're going to get catch up because I don't want anybody miss a single day of summer school. Now, right about now, the algorithm is going to show you another video they think you should watch, and I agree with him.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk.